Hello, my name is Amelia Goodzuk. So for my informational interview, I actually chose occupational therapy. I was able to interview two occupational therapists. The first person's name is Shardise Knight, and the second person is named Tess Morgan. Shardise is my father's coworker, and Tess Morgan is actually a sister of one of my mom's colleagues, and that's how I was able to get in contact with them, was through my parents. So first I'm just going to go ahead and read off the questions that I have for them. And I'm also just going to go off and read their responses as well. So my very first question was, what inspired you to become an occupational therapist? So Shardise let me know that she's very good with her hands, and she wanted to utilize her talents in that regard. And she also wanted to be in a field that was in service to others. Tess responded with, my older sister is a doctor, and she influenced me to work in the healthcare system. And she let me know she has her own sensory issues, so she was just kind of interested in learning about sensory regulation. The second question I asked them is, what is the work culture like as an occupational therapist? Shardise let me know that good coworkers make a huge difference, and in this field, since she works in home health, you sometimes need to push people to improve in functions as far as patients go. Tess said that it's very collaborative. She mainly works with children who have autism, so she works with a lot of speech therapists as well as physical therapists. The third question that I asked these girls is, what is their work-life balance like? Shardise said, you need to be very deliberate on scheduling patients. Everyone likes to have their appointments in the afternoon, but of course, unfortunately, that's not possible. Tess said that it's very good now. She works in elementary school, and it was much more challenging when she worked in outpatient care. The fourth question that I asked them is, what values do you believe are important for an occupational therapist to have when they're entering the field? Shardise let me know you need to be able to encourage patients on their goals, and you also need to see everyone as an individual and see that everyone has value. Tess responded to that question with compassion for others. My fifth question was, what is one thing you wish more people understood about people with disabilities? Shardise said that people's definition of function will differ. Some people may never choose to get better or well, and that's actually when she will typically discharge those kind of patients. Tess responded to that question with that when it comes to neurodiversity, it is okay to do things differently. The sixth question and the final question that I asked these individuals is, if you can go back and choose another career, would you and why? So Shardise said no, she likes what she does. Tess said no, but if I had to, she'd probably become a physical therapist. One question I was able to ask Tess, I didn't have the opportunity to ask Shardise, was what their undergraduate degree was. Tess let me know that she's pursuing the same career that I am currently, which is a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology. As far as critiquing the interview, I feel like both the interviews went very well. Both those girls were very kind and very informative with me. They're very transparent. I feel they're very honest as well. I was kind of hoping for more of a work-life balance, but it seems that kind of depends on where you work. And I also just didn't really understand at first that the demographic can kind of vary greatly when you are an occupational therapist. So it kind of just sounds like it depends on if you work in elementary school, you work mainly with kids, obviously, or if you're in home health, it could kind of be more the elderly community that you are helping and rehabilitating, essentially. So as far as my view of occupational therapy, I wouldn't really say that it changed too much. Prior to this interview, I would say my understanding still is that is a profession that helps disabled people kind of gain some level of autonomy back in their lives. I never really considered that there are patients out there that may not want to get better. I think that's something that I need to kind of keep in mind if I do end up pursuing becoming an occupational therapist myself. It also just kind of makes sense that people will be the ones setting their own goals instead of the occupational therapist. I think I initially going into it thought that it was mainly the occupational therapist's job to pick the goals, but it makes sense that it's kind of more of a collaborative effort instead of just the therapist telling the clients or the patients what they need to do to improve. That kind of just concludes my informational interview. Please let me know if you guys have any questions or concerns, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.